Hello, hi friends. It's Sarah Noel Block, founder of Tiny Marketing, and this is Marketing a Tiny Bit Smarter, where we dive into marketing topics and give you actionable advice that you can implement today. Housekeeping, if you have any questions, ask them along the way. Just put them in the comments and we will get to them in the end. I promise I'll look at them. Today is a little bit different than normal. Thank God, because I'm kind of sick and don't have much of a voice. But I'm hosting a virtual assistant panel. If you've followed me for a while, you know that I am low-key obsessed with efficiency. I work with time-strapped people, and I'm always looking for ways to save time so we can get everything done. So our VA panel today is Silvia Pinho and Elizabeth Millsaps, who will be teaching us how to get our time back through the art of delegation. So I am going to pop them in so we can all chat. Hey, girls.
Hey.
Can you introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm Elizabeth Millsaps. I work with Sarah very closely. I'm her VA, but my specialty actually is in online business management, specifically with creative small businesses. I like to say that I specialize in taking chaos and making it run smoothly. So.
I love that. I'm Silvia. I'm also a VA/social media manager. I started working mostly as a VA doing those general tasks that everyone seems to start off doing. And then eventually I kind of niched down into social media, kind of accidentally, to be honest. It was like I started getting jobs for social media and then eventually decided, oh, this is what I love to do. And most of my work, I find it through Upwork, actually.
Yes, you are an Upwork expert. I've been following you. Can you give everyone your Instagram handle?
Yeah, sure. It's the Silvia Pinho. And Pinho is like Pinho. I don't know if you can type it somewhere. Oh,
yeah, I'm typing right now.
Here. Never mind. I think it shows.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes people.
Oh, she froze.
Oh, no.
So that's how you follow Silvia.
Oh,
there she is.
Sorry.
No problem. That happens on a live stream. We freeze. We freeze occasionally. So I have a question for both of you. When you get a new client, how do they usually find you? How do clients find you?
Well, for me, like I said before, it's Upwork for the most part. Now this year, I started promoting myself mostly also on Instagram. So people have been coming to me through that as well. But the bulk of it is still Upwork because I've been kind of cultivating that profile for 7 years. So
yeah, you
would make more sense
around it. Teach other VAs how to get work on Upwork, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I figured since I had so much experience and since I figured so many people were coming to me for it anyway, and so many people I've seen struggling, either not getting into the platform or not finding any work that didn't pay $5 an hour.
Yeah.
I had to help them out.
Yeah, that like Fiverr. Fiverr is really screwing people over with that.
Yeah, I tried Fiverr, but I honestly didn't get the hang of it.
Yeah, you know what? Find your niche, what works for you, and then just keep it up. Upwork. Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's a better use of my time.
Yeah. How are you finding clients, Elizabeth?
Typically, I use Upwork as well, especially in the beginning. I used Upwork. And then now I'm getting to the point where some people will reach out via LinkedIn, but it's a lot of word of mouth. Honestly, I think that the small business creative industry is very small, and a lot of solopreneurs band together. Yeah. And they all just start sharing your name and what's working and say, hey, reach out to her. She might be able to take you on for this. So that's been really great for me so far. It's just making those connections and I guess, word of mouth mostly, but Upwork helps as well.
Yeah, networking is huge. And we do have a tight little community where we're all referring clients to each other and helping each other out. That really is the case. Now, why are clients reaching out to you? What is it that a lot of your clients, what problems do you solve for them?
I usually find it's one of two things in the beginning. Either they're overwhelmed and they've been just grinding along on this business. They're a solopreneur. They have nobody else on their team, but their business is growing and thriving. And they've gotten to the point where they just can't handle it on their own anymore. And they don't want to, and they want to be able to fix or look at the big picture and kind of take their hands out of the details. So that's one reason. Or they're just too close to it and they feel like they've gotten stuck and they can't see beyond their own strategy and they can't see beyond their own decisions, and they want somebody else in there to sort of be a sounding board and to help them strategize and figure out how to handle projects and clients.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. When you're like living in your business, it's really hard to get outside of it and look down and say, how can I do this better? It's nice.
Yeah, sometimes just a fresh set of eyes is all you need.
Yeah.
Right?
So Sylvia, what are the problems that you solve for your clients? Why are they coming to you?
One of them is definitely what Elizabeth just said. Like, they are either already overwhelmed and they are like, what can I do? I have still people that I need to help, but I don't have any more time. And the second one is mostly, since I help a lot with marketing and social media, is they either don't have time for it because it's very time consuming, or they just don't know where to start, because it can be, if you're not fully marketing savvy, it can be like confusing because different people say different things that you should do here and there and you should be everywhere.
Yeah.
And it gets overwhelming and confusing. So it's either lack of time or, for a lack of a better word, a lack of knowledge about social media.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what is your process when you are managing your clients' social media? What should they expect from working with you?
Yeah, so the first thing I always do is I look, even before I get on a call with them, I look at their social media and kind of do a little audit for myself so we can talk about it on the call. But then after we start working together, what's working, what not, what we need to improve on, what we need to do more of, and all of that. And then we do competitor research and actually start creating the content calendar and the post follow up with that. Usually, I'd say clients usually want to give feedback on the first 1-2 weeks of posts. So it's a bit more time consuming, that beginning stage, because you have to create the content and run it by your client. But usually after that, they are like, okay, just do your thing. We trust you. They just want the results in the end, right? Like they don't want the exact words. If they had the exact words to say in their social media, they would do it themselves.
So you do it for them, like not just putting them on it, but you'll write it and post it, everything for you. Do you do any of the community management involved with that, like responding to comments?
I currently have one client that I do that for. Not all of them. I customize the package to the client's needs. Some clients do like to do the community management for themselves. Some just don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
So it's both a matter of what time they have and what budget they have, and we work with those to create the best package for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like you only have so much money, so you have to customize packages.
Yeah, you have to compromise somewhere. If you don't have time, if you have just don't know for you, and you can respond to comments and engage on social media and everything like that. Or if you have a large budget and no time at all, like feel free, I'll do it for you.
Yeah. All right. That's good to know. A lot of people come to me and their solopreneurs don't have the time to be doing their social media themselves, that need a hands-off approach while still being present on those platforms. You have to be there or you just don't exist. So Elizabeth, can you explain what an online business manager is?
Yes. So basically that means that I oversee all the daily operations of a business. And really, it honestly varies by the client, what they need and what they want me to manage. But it could be anything from, one client who it's very project based and they say, I just want you to basically be a project manager and manage the freelancers that we use and come up with the strategy behind that. It just depends on the business. Others, it could be, hey, can you strategize and come up with this launch and take it and run with it? And then I have some that it's, okay, these are our clients, manage their, CRM, put their blog posts in, edit this. It really just depends on, the depth of like what they need. But really, I would say, for everybody, the goal is to make sure that their business is running smoothly, functioning efficiently, and looking at it and saying, where are the holes, where are the gaps, how can we make this run better? And how can we make it, more efficient business so that you don't have to be stuck in all these little pieces of the day-to-day that really are what bog business owners down.
Yeah, that's a good segue for what we were talking about before we went live, that it's so hard when you're a business owner to take that leap and get a virtual assistant because you just don't know how to delegate. It's really hard to let go and figure out how to do that. So I'd love to hear from both of you on your approach for that.
Yeah, sometimes clients don't even know what they can give out to you as a virtual assistant, right? Like I had a client reach out to me and like, what can you do? Like, what can you do for me? I know I need to delegate, but what sorts of things?
Yeah. Yes, that's huge. It's like, for my own business, I focus on education first, educating your clients so they understand how they can use you and how you can solve your problems. And that's a big thing that virtual assistants need to be doing is educating their potential clients so they can really understand how they can get time back in their lives and use you and delegate.
Yeah, they know what you can do for them, right? Like I've seen people do like now with reels, like a reel showing all their services and everything like that. And that's both fun and like gives your ideal client a better idea or a better picture of what their life would be with you.
That's a good idea. And that reminds me, like last week, I posted something on LinkedIn about like marketing tactics that people are using. And Emily Ryan, the woman who was on my show 2 weeks ago, she had posted that she's doing tutorials through Reels, like MailChimp tutorials. And I'm like, that's freaking brilliant. Why didn't I think about that? Is that what you're seeing too? Like tutorials and like sort of like I saw you do something for Ruthie for her podcast where it's almost like a movie trailer.
Oh yeah, I love doing those, but I'm kind of struggling to picture what a tutorial looks like on Reels. It's so short.
I know, you'll have to check out, it's Emily Ryan Likes is her Instagram, but that's where she does it.
I'm gonna write that down.
But I love the trailers that you do for her podcast.
Thanks.
Now, Elizabeth, how are you onboarding clients and teaching them how you can help them?
I think most importantly, what I say to every client that I work with are, what are the things that you absolutely know that you have to have your hands in? And what are the things that you're just used to doing? Because there's a huge difference in those. Like there are things that you think right now it would be easier for you to just continue doing them. But if you took the time to just tell your VA or your online business manager, whoever's helping you, like set aside that time, teach them how to do it and let it go. And that's easier said than done, but really making sure that you set aside that time to actually assess and look at everything and say, what do I absolutely need to do in the long run? That's really going to help you because, like you and I, Sarah, there's one client that I've been working on with Sarah for a while, and I know that project, it's twice a month, exactly what needs to be done. I've been doing it for her for months, and it's just, we've gotten in this routine, and I think it's really important to set that structure up and say, I can kind of let this go mentally because I know that my VA has that.
Yeah. it's completely systemized with that client too. It's like, it makes it a lot easier. And then as I'm onboarding new clients, it's figuring out how to systemize them too. Like, what can Elizabeth take on?
Yeah, if you do things like very differently every time, it's hard to pass it on. Like,
yes, especially if you're tailoring your packages.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that even before you hire a VA, you should have like these, either a checklist in place, or a thing that I love doing is recording Loom videos of the process that I'm doing, like things that I do a lot. So if I need to delegate it, the video is there. I can just send it out. I think I got that from you as well.
I'm going to steal that. I'm going to do that.
Feel free.
Looms are great little micro pieces of content to show like how-tos. I love them. But yeah, I didn't do that for you, did I, Elizabeth? I would have to. Oh my. Okay. So I want to go into how people first usually start using virtual assistants. In your experience, what is the easiest thing to delegate for clients?
I don't know what the easiest would be, but the first thing out of almost anyone I work with, my emails are out of control. I don't know how to get a handle on my inbox. I don't know how to get a handle on just organizing my clients. So that's something that I think everybody has a different opinion on how they want to handle that. But for most of my clients, what I recommend, I'll sort of send out a strategy of like, this is how you could break up your labels and your different inboxes within your inbox and start a filing system. Start figuring out, okay, I'm going to star for what I need to be done here. I'm going to label, because I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people just let get the best of them. And that's where you start missing leads. You start missing important details when you let your inbox get out of control. Mm-hmm. So that's probably the first thing that I hear from every single entrepreneur. I mean, like, my emails are out of control.
Yeah, that's a good example for Loom, actually. Like, just a basic how-to, the labels and everything in your email. Mm-hmm. I feel like with social media, then the first thing I see people delegate is their engagement and their outreach through like DMs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But funnily enough, that's like the least that I do for my clients.
Oh, really?
So I feel like I see other people delegating it a lot, but to me, like, they usually delegate the content, not necessarily the engagement. I usually do that as like an add-on to the packages, not as the base.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the most common thing to start with. I may be wrong.
No, actually, I don't think you're wrong. A lot of people who reach out to me, like just other agencies and consultants that I talk to that I network with, it's like community management. That's a huge difficulty for them, because it is time consuming, and it's something that you have to do every day, or it just your reach dies if you don't do it. So I can see that being something that they do first, but then realize that it's kind of probably important for you to show up in that way, where the content creation, you can batch that with like Silvia and get that all done at the same time. So it's time consuming, but it's important to show up for
more ones. Oh, I think I froze. But I was saying that content creation is more time consuming, like at once. It's something like you were saying, you can batch even if once a month or twice a month. But like engagement and community management is something that takes up a lot of time over a lot of days. So that's probably why a lot of people start with that, because it's an ongoing struggle.
That would make sense to me too. That it's just like, it feels like a lot, and it takes up a lot of energy, like building those relationships.
Yeah, honestly, I've even considered outsourcing that on my own accounts.
Right. So how can people find you online? What is the best way for people to find you online and work with you?
Instagram.
Instagram, and once again, I'll show her handle right there. And
Upwork or LinkedIn.
Upwork or LinkedIn, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she is under her name, which you can see. And can you both explain just an overview of the services that you provide for clients?
Sure. Want to go first? It's not always me.
Oh, no, sure. Yeah. Honestly, I do it all. I like to be in the trenches with small business owners. So I do typically work with creative industries, but I do online business management. I have a couple clients that I'm a VA for, but I typically like to work with startups and solopreneurs and just kind of help them with strategy and anything operational behind the sines.
Okay, and just as a reminder, find her on Upwork or LinkedIn at Elizabeth Millsaps. All right, Silvia, how can clients work with you?
So again, like my preferred way to reach out to me is Instagram, but I am also on Upwork. That's where I've been the longest, I guess. And I help my clients mostly with social media and other forms of marketing, email marketing, even podcast management and everything like video editing and podcast editing. I like very different things, but for the most part, it all falls into the marketing umbrella, I guess. But I have a few clients. If the client is right, I'll do other things for them. I really like working with female business owners that I can relate to and bounce ideas off of. I really like having that close relationship with my clients. So if I can vibe with you, I'll offer you more services than what's listed on my normal website or Upwork.
Same.
Yeah, I got that vibe from what you were explaining as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly marketing. And now I've been doing a bit of coaching as well for other VAs and social media managers. Because like I was saying in the beginning, I've got so many people reach out to me. And eventually I got into into a coaching program myself. And I saw the difference that it made in my business. So I was like, I got to do this someday. And then eventually I stopped postponing it and just did it.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys are doing great work. I've seen both sides of like how you work and the results of your work intimately, because while I work with both of you in a way, Silvia is Ruthie Bull's virtual assistant who was on our show last month, I think it was, and she's a friend of mine. So I've worked with both of you and you guys are awesome. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks. All right, I am going to pop you guys off and close up. Oh, hold on one second. Let me see if any questions come in. Just some highs. Hello. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. We are going to wrap up. Thanks for joining me today. Next week will be a solo stream where I will teach you how a virtual marketing director works with small businesses. And as a reminder, you can work with me in a few different ways. I work with small B2Bs as a virtual marketing director, running everything for you. I work with marketing agencies and small marketing departments to support content creation. You can join my live streams as a guest. Just go to sarahnoelblock.com/livestream. And last, you can join my monthly marketing challenges where you learn a new skill and implement it within 4 weeks. Go to sarahnoelblock.com/challenge to get notified. And thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Vicki, and everyone else who joined us today. I will see you next week. Bye.